Welcome back to another episode of Road Trip with Nick. Today we're talking about the super blood wolf moon. Ow!
Raise your hand if you know what a super blood wolf moon is, or do you think we're just making that name up? Because it sure sounds like it. But that is, in fact, the legit name.
That just happened last night. The super blood wolf moon. I sometimes was calling it the super wolf blood moon. I don't know. I saw it both ways on the internet. I think people are just, you can use them interchangeably. It seems like there's not really a rhyme or reason to the order, although maybe there should be. Before we get into how we shot it, let's break down really quickly what exactly a super wolf blood moon is. A super blood wolf moon, by the way, save that 5 times fast.
Blood wolf moon,
Yeah. So the super wolf blood moon is basically a lunar eclipse and a supermoon. And a supermoon is basically when the moon gets as close as it possibly can to the Earth and it's full.
The blood part is in reference to the color. So it happens when the moon is in the Earth's shadow and rays from the sun are passing through the atmosphere, essentially passing through the sunset and reflecting onto the moon.
And finally, the wolf part is in reference to the name of the full moon in January. And legendary tales have it that it got its name because of the hungry wolves that would howl at the moon in January. If that doesn't freak you out, just saying. Which
we think we heard.
What?
Yeah, you'll see on the video that we're about to share. If you get freaked out by scary movies, just a fair warning to you. Those of you about to proceed on to the
dun, dun, dun.
To the footage that's coming up next. So last night, in order to capture this astronomical event.
Say it with me. Astronomical.
Astrology. So last night, in order to catch this astronomical event, we drove up to the pass, Monarch Pass, which is about 11,300 feet. And here's some exciting behind-the-scenes footage, complete with wolf howling and super astronomical moon blood.
Thanks.
Super.
Nick, you look so dark and mysterious.
I know.
So, this may be the worst lighting ever. That's because we're sitting in the car and all we have are these little overheads. We'll probably get some headlamps, so you're going to get some real Blair Witch Project stuff going on here today. I've never actually watched that movie because I was too afraid of it. And I was like, I'm not watching that crazy stuff because then I would never go out and do photography adventures like this. Did you watch it?
No, did you hear that?
What? So we're...
You keep wondering why we're like, why are we looking? Oh wait, what's going on? What's going on?
What are we looking at? So we're currently waiting for the moon to fully eclipse. You know, some people go and do like the whole series of it, you know, slowly eclipsing, but because of the location and the temperature and the cloud cover problems, we were like, forget it, let's just go see what we can get with just the moon being red and awesome. All right, so that was kind of our pre-shot, you know, conversation slash, you know, things we talk about in our car together. Or Nick trying to freak me out the whole time, you know, things like that. So the real reason for the video, how we shot it. For the super wolf blood moon, we used our 70 to 200 millimeter zoom lens, which we'll link to in the description below. We are Nikon fans, hands down. And we shot this at 1/50th of a second at a 3.2 aperture and at an ISO of 6400. Since we were practically pointing the camera to the sky, we used the live view feature on our DSLR to adjust settings, and that way we wouldn't have to strain our necks the whole time and you're like crouched down and it's super awkward, and before you know it you're like, my back hurts, my feet are frozen. My neck has got a kink in it. So live view saves on backs, especially after you reach the age of...
Our age.
Our age. That's the age. Which we're not even old.
No, we're not.
Old is like 120 people. We did do a little work in post-production to crop and make some minor adjustments to the color to make sure the red was really showing up. And all in all, it was pretty super. No pun intended. Quick fun fact, thanks to the super blood wolf moon and the lunar eclipse, the stars were still visible in the night sky, and they were unbelievably gorgeous. Okay, here we go. Oh, I can't see anything. The stars are so ridiculously awesome. Without the eclipse, they would have been invisible because of the brightness of the full moons. So after we did our shot of the super blood wolf moon, super wolf blood moon, whatever, same difference, we turned our attention to photographing the night sky. I mean, look at that Big Dipper, people.
Photographing stars is a bit trickier than you'd think. There's a lot of trial and error that goes into it as you dial back the manual focus because you can't see the stars through the viewfinder.
Since this video is about the super blood wolf moon, we will save the gritty details about how to photograph a night sky for another video. And if you're interested in that, comment yes below and let us know if you want to see more how-tos and how we shot it.
If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If it's freaked you out, give it a thumbs up. We'll be back next Monday. In the meantime, subscribe, say hello in the comments, and eat your vegetables.
You heard him. Stop trying to freak me out. What the heck, you guys? This is what I have to deal with. He's messing with me. What are you doing?
Is there
Stop.
something out the window?
Stop.
It actually freaks me out too. So.
Well, quit doing it. OMG. Anyway. This is the last footage they had on their camera.